What we've got here is an opportunity to try a few different fire starters. I get the idea from a friend of mine. Quite often a lot of us will carry cotton balls with Vaseline or petroleum jelly, but so much of what we do is to try to conserve space in various bags, hiking kits or whatever. And while petroleum jelly certainly does have other value that you can add to your kit, there's other things that you could use as well. So we tried, and this is our first attempt at it. We haven't tried these beforehand, but we have Vaseline, we have a hydrocortisone cream, we have a pain relief balm, and we have triple antibiotic ointment, figuring that the other three will have a high likelihood of having some use aside from just as a fire starter, so you can carry the cotton balls and the various cream or whatever you decide to go with, if that also has some value as a fire starter. Because often you guys will take and put the cotton ball, mix it with the Vaseline, put it in an old medicine jar, medicine container, a little plastic medicine jar of some sort. This way you've got that, you can make your fire, you can use whichever it is that you find works best for you, and then still have some of it available, but you've got duplicity of purpose and additional benefit for whatever the item is. So, without further ado, we're going to try a couple different fires. First one with just a lighter, as most of us will carry that, but then the other thing I want to try is also with a ferrocerium rod and striker. So we'll see if that works at all. And the first one we're going to do is the petroleum jelly, and probably everybody has either seen other videos where they've done that or done it themselves. And you can quickly see that it takes off without any trouble at all. It goes pretty quick. Again, that is burning quite well, and I've seen videos where that's actually gone for as many as 2 or 3 minutes. Even in the wettest of conditions, it works well. Today is about 50 degrees. We're in the northeast, and we've got a good breeze going on, and I'm hoping I don't end up catching some of these other things on fire at this point, but it is what it is now. Got a light breeze, obviously coming from the north, and you can see certainly which direction the wind is going by the look of the flame and the smoke that's following it. Next thing we're going to try is the hydrocortisone cream. Again, these other three were at dollar stores, and the Vaseline was the Walmart brand. Hopefully that smoke coming from the first one isn't affecting the video too much. But here's the hydrocortisone and cotton ball. We'll see how that does. Certainly not as good as the Vaseline. Certainly doesn't appear to be working at all. And wouldn't you know, not my phone that I'm taking the video with, my phone's going off. So that one didn't seem to go at all. Even lowering it on the fire, it's not doing anything. So hydrocortisone is certainly out of the picture for even the striker later on. That would really be quite pointless. I've done enough pointless things in my life, and there's no sense in trying that one. The next thing is the pain relief balm. Again, it's from the dollar store, and as I was putting it in there, it basically seemed to be just a combination of the Vaseline and a bit of menthol. So I expect that this is probably going to work much like the Vaseline, and really and truly, if you're that worried about a little bit of pain, the aches and pains as you're out walking around, and whether it's bugging out or just hiking, or for pleasure or for necessity, the likelihood of having that much of an issue with it is fairly light. But it may be something that you want, and we'll try that. Yeah, that took right off, as you can see, with no trouble at all. So I expect that that's going to be you know, that would be the same content. The issue that I see with that, though, is the container. We've got $1 worth of pain relief balm, and we've got $2 of petroleum jelly. So as far as the bang for the buck, I would certainly highly consider the Vaseline or petroleum jelly over the pain relief balm any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Having been in the fire, that hydrocortisone is still not really doing anything there. Again, not really going to be anything that I'm too awfully anxious to waste time and money on. Fourth one we're going to try is the triple antibiotic ointment, and this was actually the one that started the conversation. A friend of mine said that that's how he carries his tinder, is with the triple antibiotic ointment as opposed to Vaseline. So just a quick, certainly that's taking off. I admit I didn't fluff it up quite as much as I did with the Vaseline, but it's taken off in pretty good shape as well, and is burning fairly readily. So, hydrocortisone being out of the picture, we'll toss that off into the fire. Get rid of that. We're down to 3. Again, the Vaseline, the pain relief balm, and the triple antibiotic. And it didn't appear that the triple antibiotic took off quite as easily as the other two. But again, it's kind of a question as well of whether or not it did work, and then to what extent the additional value or the value added benefit has. Is it going to be worth it to spend a little bit more for the antibiotic ointment and carry that as tinder, or is it going to be, you know, you're going to be just as well off to just carry a little thing of antibiotic ointment with it? All right, as I said, the third one we're going to try, or the additional method we're going to try, is with a rod and a striker, ceramic striker, ferrocerium rod. We'll see if we can open this up just a little bit. And let's see what a quick strike does. Clean that off. Vaseline, even in the breeze, takes off with one strike. No issues whatsoever. We'll set that back off over there. On another note, that first Vaseline covered one is just finally getting to the point where that's burned out, and not, you know, there's no more content to that. So if you're dealing with a wet wood tinder of any sort, you know, you've got a substantial benefit of having that petroleum fuel to keep your fire going until it can dry out enough of the small wood until you get going. Again, as easy as the pain relief balm took off last time, I expect we're going to have a similar situation here with the petroleum jelly. Nest that out a little bit. I've already cleaned it off. So. Oh. There we go. I would venture a guess that the first two were probably my fault on why that didn't quite take off as quickly. But again, burning quite well. And while the fire is out of the picture, rest assured, out here on the woodlot, I certainly don't want to burn it down. We're surrounded by snow and a little bit of stream, and that is sitting on the back side of that rock and just kind of adding a little bit of ambiance in the black smoke right up in front of the camera screen there. All right, and the last trial we're going to try is with the triple antibiotic ointment and the cotton ball. Nest that out a little bit, give it a try, see what happens. In theory. One strike again, takes right off. Actually very pleased about that, and the way that's worked out. The likelihood of using an antibiotic ointment or needing an antibiotic ointment is much higher than just the protection of a petroleum jelly or possibly a pain relief balm, and it still works just as well, I would venture, as both of the others. Maybe just a little bit less flammable, but still it works quite well. Took on the first strike from the rod, and we'll continue to see how that works here. You may want to do a little bit of testing on your own, figure out what antibiotic ointment, if you decide to use that. I mean, you could still use the greasy antibiotic ointment as a lube for a bow drill. Use it for whatever you might use the petroleum jelly for. The biggest issue, I would guess, would be the price. It was brought to my attention that also it seems to be burning quicker than the others. That may be as well that I didn't use as much of it as I did the petroleum jelly. That comes out very easy with taking a couple of fingers in there to scoop out some petroleum jelly, and you can be much more liberal with that as opposed to having to squeeze through the small opening of the tube of antibiotic ointment. So I'm not sure if it's the fact that maybe there was less fuel that way, and it burned the direct cotton that much quicker. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but again, the likelihood of doubling or tripling up your uses with the antibiotic ointment. You've got it for the first aid purpose, you've got it for a fire starting purpose, you've got it as a lube. It may certainly outweigh the benefits of just having the tinder with the cotton ball tinder with the petroleum jelly. Go ahead and try it on your own.